What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Empyrion, Galactic Survival. When we left off in the last episode, we were working on, we kind of turning the overall shape of the ship into something more detailed rather than just a floor plan layout. And I had mentioned, oh, and we also basically tried to make sure everything was completely sealed and covered up, to where inside, if I can actually fly right, inside you get the, overall look and feel of the place kind of thing. But on the outside, you're actually, none of your walls are exposed to the outside, essentially, to where if something hits the outer hull, it's not going to put a dent in your wall. So the next step is basically to just keep going and doing some of this stuff. Now, I've talked about doing the thrusters and the thruster pod side thing. I may or may not do that yet. I'm not 100% sure. The main reason being, I'm almost wondering if it's better to do the rest of the overall ship, and then that would tell us about how much of a thruster we would need. Wilhelmus 1959 had mentioned that typically for their builds that if it's between 1 to 5 kilotons, that it's usually not necessary to go past the mediums, and if it goes above that, then you're going to end up using larges or something otherwise you're going to have a lot of medium thrusters and stuff like that. So that's a ballpark for me to work with, and also it was said that the Tier 2 RCS should be good up to a 5 kiloton capital vessel, with the idea in mind that they don't move the way that a small ship would or something like that. They're a little more tanky. So with that in mind, what I think we're going to end up doing is maybe move on to the bridge and captain's quarters type area and see what we can do with some of that stuff. And I might end up laying out the overall rest of the front end before we start working on the thruster side. I'm not really 100% sure. I do want to turn on my symmetry planes, though. Was it this way, I think? So, let's see. For a bridge, I'd like to keep, what did I do here? I think it's a 3 block distance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have a walkway type area. So, 3 to 4, something like that. I'm thinking 3 would probably work okay. Well, that's the other thing, is we do have this elevator system we were going to implement, so let's actually do 5, and then we can put the elevator over here on the third. And actually, to keep the neck a bit more streamlined, I may actually cut this down to where, well, not really cut it down, but I may have the elevators right there, and then have the actual hull built around it, kind of thing is what I'm thinking. Let's see, we don't need fuel, oxygen, and all that stuff for now. We're going to keep the doors just in case. We'll switch over to capital vessels, and let's grab elevators. So, in order to do, I think we needed it 3 high, I want to say. Though, actually, you know what? I kind of want a little bit of a break here, though, so I might actually make the neck a little bit longer, I'm thinking. So let's do, what did we say this was, 5? So, let's do, like, 7. And that would give us 1, 2, 3. It would give us a 3 block here, kind of mess around with that, and that gives us a little bit of wiggle room over here. The reason being is this part of the ship is going to be a little bit bigger, and then I want a more scrawny neck in the middle, and then it widens back out into this kind of shape right here. So I'm thinking we need a little bit more room here when you factor in that we're going to have to cover up the overall neck. The other reason I want to do that is I want there to be a little bit of an inward angle here, kind of like this. So essentially, I'd want the elevators to be kind of around the back half or back quarter, but not directly on the back end. So we might actually play around with the elevator section a little bit, because that's fairly vital to the way that I've got this pictured in my head, and otherwise the shape won't really work. And in order to keep a floor between this, I do need to have this be 3 high, unfortunately. Though, I may not need an actual elevator there. Let's test that theory. So if I've got one here, without a jetpack, we can go up and then walk around. Okay, so that works out fine. Now on the outer edge, we are going to need to make sure this is at least 1 block tall, and that this is covered up. Now, we could end up doing an angle here, though. So, we may not need that one or these to be the way that they are. We might be able to get away with an angle here. A lot depends on how the actual shape ends up shaping up. So, again, we're kind of overall trying to go for more function over form, though. So, I'm going to try and just kind of level this off, I think. So we have a level playing space to work with. And then we're actually going to go out this way with the overall cabin size. So this is kind of multi-dimensional at the moment. We're kind of building at the same time here. So let's see. We'll do that there. This will be a door. Let's do it this way. And we'll say that's the bridge door. We have a door there. So let's just go ahead and well, I'm trying to think of whether or not we actually need to enclose this tunnel directly. Probably. So we at least need this to be enclosed. Let's see, is this texture? Yeah. What am I using here? Nope. Is it this one? Yep. Alright, so we're going to texture the floor so that we know what the floor is. And then I think this was the wall one? Yep. Oh, is it not set to whole block? Dang it. Okay, I gotta redo this. I don't know why some of these are rotated strangely either. That's really weird. How the heck did that happen? Weird. What does replace mode do? Okay. I don't know what that does. Can you... Nope. I'm not sure what that does. Alright, whatever. Actually, we don't really have to worry about it too much, though. I just kind of remembered that this game has a block rotation post-building. So we'll just make use of that. Oh! Wait. How did... nuts. Okay, so that's what replace does. So I managed to temporarily kind of cover everything up. As you can see here, we don't have any of the walkway blocks exposed at the moment, other than this side. So let's just cover those up real quick. And again, not final shape. We may end up changing the actual hull blocks that are covering things. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So what I'm thinking is I kind of want the nose to go, like if that's the back, kind of want the nose to be about, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go with 9? That might work. Let's start with that. Let's see how that ends up going for us. So what, well, let's actually add a little bit more. Let's go to 11. I'm trying to keep the numbers odd so that when I do doorways, I can do single doorways and kind of be done with it. So here, oh yeah, and then there's this. Alright, where's my multi-tool? I need a multi-tool. Multi-tool, where'd you go? Screw it. Alright. So what I'm gonna need this for is the rotate mode. Because that's not helpful. There we go. So that keeps that pattern. It doesn't really matter all that much. Other than I kind of want to keep the block itself oriented correctly. Now that's interesting. The symmetry doesn't carry over for... Huh, that's interesting. The symmetry doesn't carry over for rotation. Fascinating. We have the pattern going a little bit different. No, I guess that's the same on that. Okay. But basically, if we can keep the... Hello? There we go. If we can keep the block pattern facing the right way, then when we actually apply whatever we're going to apply, it won't have as much of an issue with making sure everything's squared away the proper direction. There we go. So that fixes that. So everything should be oriented correctly at this point. So that's cool. Let's see. So, I think what I'm going to do, since it's technically the larger area, is we're going to work on the bridge next. We're set to hull block, small, not replace mode. Okay, so that's a thing, that's a thing. All of this is a thing. And not all of this will stay these textures either. Like, I'm actually planning on this upper part where I'm dubbing it the captain's quarters. This is actually going to be like, turn off the whole block, and I'm going to either do something, ooh, I like that. Might do this. Not that far back, though. So, let's turn that off. Nope. Wait, what? There we go. It's like, wait a minute. So probably like here is probably going to be the size that we're going to go with. I'm leaving those, like I said, I'm leaving the hull ones because those are probably not going to be wooden or anything. Those are probably going to be some other kind of steel outer hull block thing. So it's gonna look something like this-ish, and then go forward above the bridge. But the bridge is gonna be a bit longer, and then the agricultural and storage and stuff like that is gonna be further this way. That's why I wanted to make it a little bit longer. And for now, we're gonna leave it like this, I think. I mean, it works for now. We'll apply the whole block back on. Yeah, for now, we're going to leave it that way. Not really sure if it's going to stay that way or not. We may end up actually cutting this part off and making the elevator here the first kind of block space. Because really, like I said, I'm designing this for me in survival. I'm not designing this to be a multiplayer, multi-crew personnel ship. So with that in mind, I'm not entirely worried about it being... I'm not really worried about it being basically not big enough for more than one person. And the whole captain's quarter thing is largely an RP thing. There's probably going to be some stuff, like I might keep the fridge and stuff like this up here. But for the most part, it's kind of going to be an RP thing. So, at this point, we are going... Oh, I don't have the symmetry mode back on. Silly me. Turn symmetry mode back on, then places block right in front of face in the middle of the axis. Good job. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3. I don't know if we really need a huge bridge either, but let's go with it anyway. Let's do... Well, hold on a minute. Again, it is one person, so I don't really think I need a big bridge. Let's see what 5 looks like. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is this part is going to be the widest area, but it's probably going to be the widest on the side here, not up at the top. And so what I'm thinking is, as this angle kind of tapers, and we might even make this a little bit wider, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So we may bring it out a couple more blocks and then kind of bring it back in. And I'm thinking we're going to have a doorway that goes around to the front part. So for now, let's say... Let's put a door right... Yeah, we'll do this glass one. Let's put the door there. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll obviously need a pathway going here. Oh, and you know what, though? I didn't really compensate for walls. So, if I don't want this to be a one block... Alright, we need to widen this a bit, then. So, let's do it at least here. And do at least like that. Let's see what that looks like in terms of space. I think that could work. We'll probably adjust the shapes of things. Like I said before, this is kind of just blocking things out. But with a little bit... Yeah, let's actually bring this out one. Do it like that, maybe. Or we could even do... no angle at all. And just make it about this big. That could work too. Let's try that. So, we would need a door here then. Actually, I am going to flip the direction, and the reason being, it'll probably give it a bit more of a bigger feel to have the walkway go like this when you've had a block or two to walk through. Is kind of my theory on this. Come on, what is going on? Thank you. And we will need a block here. A block here. Well, yeah, at least like that. And at least like this. So, like I said, we may have to widen the outer hull frame a little bit to make this work. But overall, I think it'll work. I'm confident it'll actually end up working. And like I said, we're kind of just blocking everything out, so I'm not filling in stuff that I don't actually need filled in yet. So let's play around with this a bit. We can turn this... no, let's leave it on for a minute. because we're gonna basically texture everything here. Okay. At this point, I think the only thing that really concerns me is the outer hull shape, really. Everything else, I think we can, like, function and stuff like that, and making everything work correctly and have everything we need to run the ship and stuff. I don't think that'll be a problem. I do think we might have a bit of an issue with getting the shape that I was going for to actually come to be. Oops. Well, we'll get that one on our way back. Okay. And if any of you guys have any other suggestions as far as, like, how to lay out the corridors and stuff to make them a little less bulky or something, I'm all ears. Not opposed to any of that stuff. Yeah, so all of that is exposed stuff, which kind of stinks. But let's just cover it up, basically, is what I'm kind of thinking. Because I need to have an idea of, in order to seal it all, kind of thing. Well, not necessarily even seal, like for air, but just in order to have an armor layer of protection, you know, I need to kind of have an idea of where blocks will have to go. And unfortunately, it's probably going to directly impact the shape that I was going for. But, you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't have your ship being like exposed outside where the block that's getting shot is on the other side is you. That's just not a good way to do things. So I'm left with, it may end up being a little bit bigger on the outside because I may end up adding armor layers and stuff in order to kind of rough out the shape. Like, I may end up adding some extra layers out here to make the shape kind of what we were wanting it to look like. Now, the other issue that I'm seeing here is the way I had originally designed this idea is the captain's quarters should be up here with an angle that slopes down. And right now, that's not the case. So we're definitely going to have to revisit this captain's area later. And yeah, that's not going to be able to stay at that height. I'm probably going to have to raise it up in order to make it work. Alright, and we've got... This is all floor as well. Nope, nope, nope. Stop it. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Oh! Silly me. Do I really need... I don't. Okay, hold on. We're going to change this up. I don't really need this to be a corridor, now that I'm looking at it. I could have probably left that there, but whatever. We could probably get away with just putting a door right there. And then let's actually take this back a block. For now. Okay, there we go. So we have this, and I'm thinking this is going to be our growing areas now. That didn't really leave us any room for storing anything, unfortunately. So that means we also don't have a storage room or an ammo room or anything like that. What are my crate options here? Oh, not crate. What is it? Boxes? Ammo box? Yeah, here we go. Personal cargo box. We'll put that in the captain's quarter. Cargo box blocks. Large ammo, small ammo, cargo for harvest, cargo box point of interest. So we need these, we need these. And these will go up in the captain's cabin, so we're not worried about that. I don't know if there's actually any difference with these, to the point that I'm not really sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did count that right? I think so. So there's 7 by 5 is the default. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that doesn't actually add anything. But it takes up a second block. Okay, this one does, though. This one actually has more room. And I'm guessing this is going to end up being the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so these last two have the same storage as... And I'm... Let's see. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... And it's 9, so 7 by 5 to 7 to 9 for 2 spaces. It's actually more cost efficient to place 2 regular size cargo box things instead of doing it the other way. That's interesting. These don't have any options, so that's fine. And again, I'm kind of doing this a little bit more practical than anything else, because it's kind of one of those, like, the way the game's structured, I don't actually have to have access to these storage crates. I can basically just place them somewhere, and then the game will let you access them. So, with that in mind, we're probably not going to do an actual, like, room kind of thing. Let's see here. So, I might leave them like this, and you can still access the front ones for quick access or something like that. But I don't really see the need to do any more. And again, feel free to let me know if you guys have reasons or whatever why that's not a good idea. Feel free to let me know. Okay, so those are actual floor blocks. These would be actual wall blocks, so I need to make sure those are covered. Along with this. So there's that, there's that. This would be the hallway. So then we'd want a row there. This is going to be the floor. So we want that there. And so we want to cover this row. Like so. And like I said, I've said it multiple times, we're going to refine and, you know, cover this up and shape it a little bit differently and better in order to kind of make our shape a little bit more defined. Because it's not really defined, it's kind of a bunch of blocks right now, which isn't the way we want it. Okay. So, here, I think we'll put... Let's do another set, and then we'll do a door. So this isn't going to end up being longer than I originally intended, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to put that there, put that there. Now, from here, from this angle, what I'm thinking of doing is this is going to end up being our agricultural area, I think. And we have a little bit of wiggle room with this here. We can bring this nose out a bit more. So let's say Alright, I'm gonna need growth plots for this. So, where'd they go? Growing plots. There we go. And I guess we'll use steel. I know there's the newer kinds now, but it doesn't really matter all that much. And actually, it looks like the... It kind of looks like the capital vessels only have a steel option, so that kind of fixes that. What I'm thinking, though, is having a walkway and then having the plots like this. Now, I'm kind of thinking... Let me know what you guys think about this, but I'm thinking 3x3 plots. But I don't know if that's enough when you consider that what I'm actually wanting to do is utilize the new biofuel system to where this isn't just food, but it's also for your powering your ship. I don't know if that's enough or not. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And I'm kind of thinking... Actually, one thing that would be kind of cool is doing something with windows here, whether it be a glass ceiling, whether you have angle slope windows going from the front up, you know, something like that. That would be kind of cool to me, I think. And let's go through and basically texture all of this so we kind of have an idea of what we're doing. Alright, what am I set to? The walls, so we'll do the walls first. Obviously, we're going to be missing the ceiling, but that's okay. Okay, all that looks fine. Okay, and we will then do the floor. And try not to accidentally miss and hit the ceiling like I did before. Okay. So, we'll turn symmetry mode off just for a second to get a look-see. I also need growing lights, which we should put... Oh, crap. I forgot all about that. So I need this to be taller. Or at least... At least the middle one? Here's something to experiment with. I forgot all about this. Do I have any power? Okay. Let's do... Wait! Holy crap! Holy crap! Hold up! Hold the phone. Am I really that derpy? I am! I made an engineering room, and I never made an engine. Well. I feel embarrassed. I never put a generator in. Holy crap. Alright, what kind of, space require... Oh my, this thing's huge. What is it? 6 by 2 by 2. Ugh. That's just not going to fit anywhere that I have a spot for, I don't think. How did I mess that up so badly? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Just maybe. I don't think the room's long enough, but I have an idea. Let's see here. I need it to go... Yeah, that way works too. And then... This way? Oh, it's by 2 though. 2 by 2. Ah, crap. I was gonna try and actually mount it to the ceiling, because I was like, that would be kind of cool. Well, that's a bit of a plot twist to end the episode. I did all this designing and stuff and totally forgot to actually put an engine on the ship. So, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments and such. In the meantime, I guess we're out of time for today, so I will wait to hear back what you guys think. I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!